All right, guys, one of the jacks we caught today did not swim off, so we're gonna try to eat it. We have no idea what we're doing, but we've got it right here on the table here at the condo my parents are staying at. We're gonna start cutting into this dude, see what happens. All right, we don't even know where to start cutting on it, so I'm just gonna have my dad just start hacking away. Yep. That'll work. I mean, I'm gonna assume it's just like any other fish. You start cutting down the back and go around the gill plate and
fish
see what happens.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, start getting that fillet lifted off of there a little bit. Yeah, we got a Lucy Grace hanging out right here. She's watching the fillet process. Yeah, I was gonna say you probably need a hacksaw to cut through that hard tail there.
I gotta find some place I can get through.
Yeah, that is super tough back there. Oh man, that is bloody.
It looks more like a side of beef than.
Yeah, it does look more like beef. You're absolutely right. It's a very red meat. Yeah,
Isn't that
absolutely.
crazy?
But that's what I've heard. Don't expect like the fish flavor. It is more like a beef cut instead of fishy. So we'll find out at some point.
Can you take your eyes out of it?
No, we're not gonna cut his eyes out.
Probably don't need to take the eyes out of it.
Oh, that's so.
You gonna eat some of that?
I don't know. And I actually.
What do you think, Jordan?
That looks like a.
Looks like a giant
I was
fish
gonna say,
fillet.
it is shaped like a fish fillet, but it looks like a big hunk of beef.
It looks like
laying
a hunk
there.
of beef that you carved into a fish fillet size.
Yes, absolutely.
Shape.
Alright, I'm not gonna make you watch him fillet the entire thing, but once he's done, we're gonna cook it, eat it. I don't know. We'll see. Alright guys, it's the moment of truth. We are about to cook the Jack Crevalle. I've got my partner here, Maggie. Can you say hi, Maggie? But to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not exactly sure what to expect. It's a lot more red. It's not your typical white colored fish flesh that I'm used to eating, but yeah, Maggie's got her a lollipop, so she's gonna enjoy what she's eating. We're gonna find out if I enjoy what I'm about to eat, but we'll jump over to the other side of the kitchen and I'll show you how I'm gonna cook it real quick. See these little, here, let me get my shadow, there we go. Those little spots right there? Those are, of course, worms in the meat, so I am gonna dig those out. I'm not worried about actually eating the meat that's contaminated because it's a parasite that's not transmittable to humans, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, this has to have some worms in it just to make everything a little bit worse. All right, real quick, here's just a nice little close-up of a piece of one of the worms I cut out of there. Obviously, I'm not gonna cook the meat with them in there, but we're gonna get this cleaned up and I'll show you some of the finished prepared meat that I'm about to cook. Okay, right here I've got some cuts prepared and it doesn't look bad once I got the worms out and any of the shady looking meat cut off of it. It looks fine. And now I'm gonna go over the different ways I'm gonna prepare it real quick. All right, the first way we're gonna cook it, this is just some homemade garlic butter I made. We're just gonna throw a couple fillets in there. The second way, we're gonna go with the classic deep fried fish. We got it all breaded up here. And we are using Louisiana seasoned crispy fish fry. And then the last way we're gonna do it, we just got this seasoned with some Old Bay. That is my favorite way to cook fish. And we are gonna actually throw it in this dude right here. We're gonna air fry it. I really like to air fry my fish, so we're gonna give that a shot as well. All right, let's get a couple pieces thrown down in there. We'll slide over and drop a couple pieces here in the hot oil. And then right over here, we're gonna get this bad boy turned on. I like to do it at max crisp. Just get it nice and hot, get it going. And then I'm just gonna plop these last couple pieces in here. And we'll let that go for a couple minutes and we'll check on it. I check on it every couple minutes just to make sure I don't burn it. And the worst thing that can happen is you guys get to watch me vomit, so that might be a plus depending on what you're into, but hopefully we don't get to that point. But once this is done, we'll get to eating it. The Jack in the pan looks a lot like steak. I'm gonna go ahead and call that done right there, so I'm gonna get that out of there and on a plate. The fried stuff is looking pretty much done as well. We'll get that out of there. And I bet the air fryer's done as well. Oh yeah. And there we go. That is fried, just cooked in garlic butter, air fried with Old Bay. All right. Deep breath. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna be okay. Let's do it. All right, now I'm honestly surprised I'm as nervous as I am to try this because, I mean, I've ate hardhead catfish. Some of y'all saw me cook pompano inside my vehicle during a heat wave. I literally cooked pompano on my dashboard. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go watch that. That was pretty wild. But I mean, just everything I've heard about this is just that it's terrible tasting. And then when I cut the fillet open, it had worms. And I don't care how good of a fish flavor it is, when you see worms, there's a mental game that you have to play with yourself, even though I know I can't get those worms. And if I got a tapeworm, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt me that bad. All right, we are gonna start off with just the garlic butter cooked Jack to start with. Here goes nothing. It's not terrible. I kind of psyched myself up there a little bit. It's not a terrible flavor. It's really not. It doesn't taste a whole lot like fish, though, to be honest. It's almost more like beef than fish for sure. Let's go with the Old Bay in the air fryer. We'll go with a bite of that real quick. Now that's good. I like that. I definitely like that with the Old Bay, but I really like Old Bay on fish, and I really like cooking it in the air fryer. The air fryer kind of gives it just a little bit of a crust on the outside. I'm digging that for sure. Now, last but not least is just your regular fried fish. All fried fish tastes good. I mean, it is what it is. That tastes perfectly fine. I see nothing absolutely at all wrong with this. This is edible. The Old Bay seasoned cooked in the air fryer is definitely edible. I need to take another bite of this because I really psyched myself out. I already had in my mind that I wanted to vomit before I even took a bite of this, so I need to take another bite. It's not bad. It's not. I really had myself psyched up. I psyched myself up too much when I first took a bite out of that. It's not bad. It's my least favorite of the three ways I cooked it. I mean, number one's got to be fried. I mean, you could probably deep fry a turd and it's gonna taste good. Number two, definitely the Old Bay. Actually, Old Bay might be number one. I really like the way Old Bay cooks up in the air fryer. It just gives the fish a really good flavor. But okay, the verdict after I've tried the three different ways of cooking the Jack, would I ever keep and eat Jack Crevalle again? Absolutely not. And it's not a bad taste. I swear, the taste is not bad. It's a texture thing for me. When I eat fish, I want that fish texture. And I'm not against eating a firm textured fish. This is just a different firm texture than what I'm used to when it comes to eating fish. And I'll be honest, I'd rather eat a hardhead catfish over eating a Jack Crevalle again. I mean, I didn't think hardheads tasted bad. I really didn't, but it's a middle thing. Just having the worms, and they were big worms. They weren't like the little bitty worms that you find in trout and small reds. They were good sized worms, and just as soon as I cut that fillet, that put me in the mindset, I'm not gonna like it. Flavor was good, texture was just off for me. So there, I mean, this isn't gonna happen again. It's not for me. But if anybody wants to eat the Jack Crevalle, I highly recommend you try it. Just realize that the texture is gonna be a lot more firm, and have the mindset that it's not gonna be exactly like the fish you're used to eating. So, there you go. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you never know what I might eat next. I mean, maybe I'll eat a handful of coquine and clam and break all my teeth out. Probably not gonna happen, but you never know. You never know. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, so until next time, I'll see you later.